Hello, students. Welcome back to your English class. I am Mrs. Jenny Shah, your English teacher, and we are doing the poem, The Wonderful Words by Mary O'Neill. We've done the recitation, we've done the question and answers, and now today we are going to be looking into the language of the poem. Okay? Figurative language, students. It means figure, drawing, picture. Basically, figurative language creates a picture in the mind of the reader or the listener. These pictures, they help convey the meaning faster and more vividly than words alone. We use figures of speech in figurative language. These help us to add color, interest. They help us to awaken the imagination in a person. Using figurative language is an effective way of communicating an idea that is actually not easily understood because of its abstract nature or complexity. Most of our writers of prose or even poetry, they use figurative language to elicit emotion and help readers form mental images and draw these readers into their work. So, students, figurative language is actually the opposite of literal language. In literal language, it means exactly what it says. Okay. So if I say he ran fast, it's a literal language. I'm telling you that he ran fast. You have to take its literal meaning. But figurative language means something different to what it says on the surface. So when I say he ran like the wind, this is figurative language. Over here, like the wind is a figure of speech, which is a simile over here because I'm using the word like. He ran like the wind. Okay. So, first and foremost, students, you have to learn to understand the difference between literal and figurative language. There are many figures of speech that are commonly used, and you will learn them very easily, like simile, metaphor, personification, alliteration, onomatopoeia, hyperbole, idioms, all these, and there are many more figures of speech. But in this poem, the ones that we can see very frequently is two figures of speech that I will explain today. The first one is personification. In personification, a figure of speech, it is a figure of speech in which qualities of a person, of a human, or an animal is given to an object or an idea. So, for example, the wind yells through the trees. Technically, literally, if you think, a wind cannot yell. Only a living thing can yell. But we are giving this qualification to the wind. And so it is personification. We are giving it a person like quality. Okay. So basically, giving an object or animal human characteristic to create interesting imagery. Okay. So whenever you make an object or an animal act or look like a human, you're talking of personification. Next one that we're constantly going to see in this poem is metaphor. Metaphor is basically a figure of speech which states that two things are similar. The strawberry was a fresh summer day. The rain came down in full cold buckets. The test was a long, never ending marathon. She read the book at the snail's pace. Now, over here, if you see metaphor, A metaphor is basically a figure of speech which is used to make a comparison between two things. In personification, we give it the quality of a human. Over here, we are comparing, we are using metaphor to compare between two things that have something in common. Like strawberry was a fresh summer day. Rain came down in full buckets. Test was a never ending marathon. So basically, we are talking of the test and we're talking of never ending marathon, and we are putting the two on the same level. Now you will see that even in simile, you say it compares two things. If you look at simile, you're all going to tell me, even in a simile, it is a figure of speech that compares two separate concepts. But in a simile, we will always use a connecting word, that is a like or an as. But in a metaphor, you will compare without using an as or like. Okay? So when you say Mike is like a teddy bear, it's a simile. Mike is as soft as a teddy bear, again a simile. If you use like or you use as, it is a simile. But when I say Mike is a teddy bear, now it's a metaphor. Okay? Again, the boy is like a pig, simile. The boy is as messy as a pig, again simile. That boy is a pig. Now you're speaking metaphor. Okay? So basically, metaphors is a comparison in which one thing is said to become another thing. Like she is a walking dictionary. Then this is a metaphor. Okay, students? Now, over here, I have underlined a few, I have highlighted a few words. I want you to sit with your textbook and your notebook. Open your textbook to page 82. Underline these words that I have written, that I have highlighted on the screen, and sit with your notebooks. We are going to speak about this, and then we are going to speak about why these are these particular figures of speech. Okay? So please sit with that. Okay. Again, here also, students, please underline these words in your textbook. First one. Never let a thought shrivel and die. I want you to write this figures of speech, write the name of the poem, the wonderful words. Below it, write figures of speech. Then number one in the margin, the first sentence, never let a thought shrivel and die. Leave a line and write personification. Leave a line and write the reason. So in this light, in this particular line, thought, it's an abstract, non-living thing. But it has been considered as a human because we have written thoughts shrivel and die. So over here, the word die is giving it a human quality. Actually, thoughts cannot die. They don't have any life. But here we have given it the human quality of death. And so it adds to the effect of the poem. Okay. So number one, never let the thoughts shrivel and die. Why? I've explained. Whatever you infer and interpret from it, you will write down. Next one is a metaphor. For English is a wonderful game. In this line, English, which is a language, is compared to a game. Language and game are actually completely dissimilar concepts. But over here, it has been brought together to show that words from a language are matched with thoughts in our mind, making it similar to a game like a crossword puzzle or a puzzle. I repeat, language and game are actually completely dissimilar concepts. But over here in this poem, the poet has brought them together by saying that words from our language are matched with our thoughts in our mind. And so it has been compared to a game which is like a crossword or a puzzle. Okay, next one, and handsomely groomed and fed. So over here, the actual line is to the brightest thoughts and handsomely groomed and fed. Again, over here, these thoughts, they have been given human qualities because thoughts are an abstract, non-living thing. So over here, when we say the thoughts can be groomed and fed, actually only humans can be groomed and fed. So over here, we are referring that once the words are used, thoughts become clear. And so they are groomed and fed. Okay. The next one over here is words are the food and dress of thought. This is personification. In these lines, again, these words are compared to food and dress to show that it is important to give form to a thought, just like how food and dress are important to human beings. I hope you all remember you have to number the line, leave a line, write metaphor, leave a line, put an explanation of why it is a metaphor. Over here, again, these words are compared to food and dress because we have written words are food and dress of thought. This is trying to show how important it is to give form to a thought, just like how food and dress are important for human beings. Okay. Next line. They give it its body and swing. Over here, thoughts are said to be having a body in this particular line. Over here, personification is used to state that words can give a form to the thoughts, just like body gives shapes to humans. Next one, but only words can free a thought. Over here, the freeing and being a prisoner. These are both human activities. And over here again, thoughts are compared to humans in a prison. And the words are the power that frees it from the mind. So both these lines you can do together. Okay, but over here it's also saying from its prison behind your eyes, which is a metaphor. So over here, we are comparing the area behind our eyes to a prison and saying that the storm, the thought is hiding or being captivated over there. So we are comparing prison with our eyes. Maybe in your mind, maybe your mind is holding now. Our mind holding something is again a personification because technically a mind cannot hold anything. But over here, we have said that mind is holding something. We've again given it a human quality. A marvelous new surprise. This is exclamation. You can see the exclamation at the end. Exclamation is also a figure of speech which is used to increase the effect of that language. With these children, we've come to the end of our chapter. I hope you understood the figure of speech very well, especially personification, metaphor, and simile. All right. With these students, I end the class. See you all tomorrow. Uh, See you all on Monday. Till then, stay home, stay safe.